last one, and the least well-known myth. Porn use has many benefits and very few drawbacks. These claims pretty much arise from studies that utilize a questionnaire. The questionnaire is called Pornography Consumption Effect Scale. I'll call it the PCES. PCES has 47 questions, and it was created in this paper called Hald and Malamuth 2008, the most egregious paper on porn ever published, in my opinion. Much more egregious than the ones we've seen. So each question is categorized as a positive of porn or a negative of porn. And then you can score each question as 1, not at all, or 7, an extremely large extent. I'm just going to go, here's the actual excerpts. I'm going to give you the translation of 3 findings of the PCES from Hald and Malamuth. First finding, porn use was almost always beneficial with few, if any, drawbacks for anyone. Well, that's not surprising. Second finding, the more hardcore porn you use, the greater its positive effects in your life. In other words, the PCS found that the more porn you use, the better your life is. Straight up, like that. And putting it all together, the more porn you use, the more you believe porn represents real sex, and the more you masturbate to porn, the greater the positive effects it has in every area of your life. So, in other words, if you're not using porn, it is having severe negative effects on you. You need to start using porn. Now, how could the PCES produce these wonderful results? It's all in how you design anything. So the first problem is that Hald and Malamuth just decided, well, I think this is a negative, I think this is a positive, and it was really like throwing darts at a board. And here are some examples of positive effects. Has added to your knowledge of anal sex, has taught you new sexual techniques, has made you experiment more in your sex life. These are all positives. Has made you more insightful into your sexual fantasies, has improved your knowledge of oral sex, has increased your sexual activity. Is that a positive for an 11-year-old? I don't know. You tell me. Is it a positive? What it's really saying is, have you learned all about sex from porn? That's what these 6 questions are asking. So it's really asking, if you have learned about sex through porn, it's positive in your life. Here's some negative questions. Has made you less sexually liberal, has made you experiment less in your sex life, has reduced your sexual activities. Again, it's context. You can't say if this is a positive or negative. Maybe you're a sex addict and you want to cut down. Well, that would be which? That would be a positive if you cut back down. Or maybe experiment less. Maybe your wife doesn't want to try the crazy stuff you used in porn or hang off a chandelier. So maybe experimenting less would be good for your marriage. I don't know. Second problem with the PCES is that it gives equal weight to questions that do not assess equivalent effects. Over on the left, positive, has added to your knowledge of anal sex. That's a positive. On the right, has reduced your quality of life. So in other words, you could learn about anal sex, but you could also have lost your job and divorced. It's pretty much a wash. So let's take this to the extreme end. So if you put it together, you have basically the false equivalencies given to you on the previous slide, plus self-perception. Whoops. Self-perception means, oh, this is how I think porn affects me. So let's look at a young addicted porn user, how he might answer these questions. He has porn-induced TD, no girlfriend. Let's see, 14, has added to your knowledge of anal sex. Oh yeah, that's a 7. Has positively affected your view on the opposite gender. Oh yeah, 6, I think porn stars are hot. 28, overall has been a positive supplement to your sex life. 7, I never masturbate without it. Now let's see how he might score on some of the negative questions. Has made you less tolerant towards sex. 1, are you kidding? I watch sex for hours a week. 25, has reduced your quality of life. 1, I can't imagine life without porn. 40, has led to problems in your sex life. No, I'm a virgin. Number 1. So, in other words, your marriage could be destroyed and you could have chronic ED, but your PCES score can still show that porn has been just great for every aspect of your life. It's all math, people. Here's one recovering porn user who looked at the PCES and he said, yeah, I've dropped out of university, have lost friends, got into debt, still have porn-induced DD, and never had sex in real life, but at least I know all the porn star acts and I'm up to speed on all the different positions. So yeah, basically porn has enriched my life to no end. Now, there's a lot more that can be said about this very egregious study. Here's our critique, but what's interesting is there's an even longer critique by a psychology professor on that same page, and he really tears it up. He says, in short, if I had been the reviewer on this manuscript, I would have probably rejected it on the basis of inadequate statistical methodology as well as various conceptual problems. That's scientific speak for it was a pile of crap. It is impossible, given the nature of the data, to draw any firm conclusions, and he says the PCES is a psychometric nightmare. Here's the real nightmare, folks, is you put in the PCES, or the study that created it, into Google Scholar Search, and you come up with 273 citations. This is a zombie paper that is creating more and more papers that come up with what results? What do you think? Porn use is never a problem. It's always beneficial. So there might be that many papers out there who have been birthed by the PCES, all reporting very questionable results.